Check out this beautiful sunrise. I tried to get it as it was coming over the horizon, but uh, YouTube wouldn't go live at the moment. So, but it's still pretty low, still nice and red. Photo biome modulation. You're getting all of that near infrared light. It's really good for your cells. Getting thousands upon thousands of chemical reactions, positive chemical reactions in your body right now from being out in the sun right now. And look, right above us, we got the moon. It's pretty awesome. There's that sunrise. So we've been talking about the spiritual warrior, the spiritual athlete, I should say, and been using this concept to get into our morning qigong every day. Now, we were saying that a spiritual warrior is someone who is willing to uh, face their own self-ignorance, go to battle against their own self-ignorance. And to do this, you have to have a certain mindset of an athlete. So we call that a spiritual athlete. You know, it's pretty consistent with what it was like in the Marine Corps too. Learning to shaping us into warriors, so to speak. And you need to have a mind of an athlete, and that's being willing to do the simple things to have a breakthrough. Um, it was buffering for a second. So you surrender to the process, and you open yourself up to have a breakthrough. I can remember when I was a kid, in high school, I should say, and I would sleep. When I was a kid, I would sleep in the shorts that I was going to work out in the next morning. That way, I didn't give my body much time to try to compromise with my brain. I'm sore or anything like that. Let's sleep 15 more minutes or let's start tomorrow. No, I slept in my shorts. I would hop out of bed, brush my teeth, throw on my shoes, and then straight out of the door. You keep it simple. That's how you allow yourself to build momentum. And just one summer of doing that, just one summer, a short period of time, I was able to have huge breakthroughs on the basketball court and within my school, and elevating myself as a player. And went from someone who um, you know a lot of people question if I should be on the team to one of the leading players, a star of the team. So in just a short period of time, you can make huge transformations. And I've repeated this pattern in multiple stages of my life. And so I'm sure some of you have examples like that too, where you was able to fully apply yourself and things sped up for you. The way you saw things slow down, but the results sped up for you. And so the challenge is, applying that to other aspects of your life, especially the things that you really want to accomplish that don't seem as easy, right? You're not giving yourself the circumstances to have the type of breakthrough that you can have. So we're keeping it simple. We're doing the simple things over and over again. We're hopping out of bed. We're going to sleep in clothes that we can hop out of bed and work out in the next day. And we're getting straight to our practice. We're doing it over and over again, very simple. We're allowing ourselves to have breakthroughs, build momentum. All right, so I'm hopping to the morning qigong right now, and I'm going to focus on, well, the fascia is throughout the entire body. So to say I'm focusing on the fascia, um, it's to be, so I'm always focusing on the fascia, but I'm really going to concentrate on the lower back area. I did a little bit more, I was seated a little bit more yesterday than I normally am and that I normally like to be. And my son was having a little bit of an emotional day yesterday, so I was holding him a lot more. And so those back muscles, lower back muscles, they can use a little attention so they don't start to stiff up over time. When you don't get dynamic movement, then your fascia starts to signal to the rest of your muscles that, oh, we don't need to expend energy that way, but you want to keep it elastic. So all of a sudden you have a buoyancy and your body uses less energy to move. And all of a sudden you have more energy to direct yourself in the way that you want to. So we're going to start letting the engine pass. So I've already done, yoga and stretching and breath. So my body is already, pretty warmed up. So I'm not gonna do too much with the upper body right now. I'm just gonna hit my shoulders, and then we're gonna move right into the hips. And once we get into the hip, we're gonna start to work the lower back and get a little bit of dynamic movement in our back so that we get adequate energy and electricity flowing throughout those parts of the body. So we stay loose, we stay buoyant, and we're not using energy to try and cope with discomfort. Our energy is going towards, where we want it to go. All right. So quick shoulder roll. So some of I do this. I'm doing these practices about 2.5 hours a day, at least. A lot of times it's more. In the morning, it's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But throughout the day, I may stop and do, um, a 10-minute meditation or a 10-minute Qi Gong, several times throughout the day. And this is how you engage your mind, engage your body in a way that eases your mind. This is how you practice being mindful. For a lot of people, it feels like stress at first to give that amount of attention, that much attention to the way you're thinking, to the way you're moving, to the way you're breathing. But what you realize is once you stop having discomfort and you stop being agitated by everything, it actually feels pretty good. And it feels not so good. It feels horrible to kind of to be unconscious and just, basing your life off of your habits 100% of the time. It's good to have habits that serve you, but you still want to be conscious of those too in case they start to not serve you. You can make the adjustment and not get forced, not get stuck in this rut of not feeling like you can change. All right, hips. I hope y'all see as we're doing this, the people that are behind, running past, walking past, jogging past, they're out here every day. The mind of an athlete, they don't envy those people. They don't criticize those people. They get inspired by them and they join in. And now your contribution is inspiring someone else. That's how it works. That simple. Do a full look over your shoulder, full range of motion. You get a nice stretch through your vagus nerve. especially some of the key parts that's wandering through your neck, your thyroid, down to your lower back. You can feel it in your hips. It's just one of my favorites. I know y'all hear me say this every day. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. It's a ball. Rub our hands together. Your hands and your feet. You have almost more, what do you call it? You're very sensitive. You have a whole lot of nerve endings in your hands and your feet that goes to every part of your body. So it's part of the reason I like doing this barefoot. Other reasons too. I'm sure some of you heard of grounding. But it's also, it's very soothing. We're waking up those nerve endings in our feet just by touching the grass. Waking up those nerve endings in our hands just by rubbing them together. Deep breath in. All right. Let's gather. Let's gather. Let's harness. Breathe. Let's gather goodness. Let's harness it. Let's harness it. Let's gather goodness. Let's harness it. If you're just jumping in, I keep these short because if some of you ever get to do this with me in person, or if some of you have, because I know some people who hop on these and view these videos, we could easily do 45 minutes to an hour of qigong. If you're going through my half-day retreats, that 5 hours fly past like it's nothing. It happens when the body's at ease. When the body's tense, keep breathing. Time drags. It doesn't go by fast enough. Or at least it feels that way. One more. Gather goodness. Harness it. Get a nice good squat. Let's build our energy a little bit more. Let's just play with it. It's yours. We're going side to side, but as you can see, it's a slight turn. Slight rotation in the hip. Waking things up. Remember to breathe. Remember to breathe. Across the body. Nice gentle stretch in the fascia. Your lower back. That's the area of the fascia that we're focusing on right now. Lower back. Breathe and draw your attention to it as you make those movements. Nice and easy. Be aware of all the sensations that's taking place. There's a little bit of tightness, a little bit of stiffness, a little bit of ache, a little bit of resistance. Breathe in. Relax into the motion. Breathe in. Relax into the motion. Exhale into the motion. Breathe in. Exhale into the motion. Breathe in. Exhale into the motion. Back to center. Push out, stretch. Slight arch in the back. Exhale. Gather. Same thing. Arch out. Push. Exhale. Gather. Arch out. Push. Exhale. Gather. Arch. Push. Exhale. One more. Gather. Push. Awesome. Exhale. Now we're going to open our arms, spread our wings, bring them together, push our palms together, nice and tight. Push. Breathe in. Open. Exhale. Push. Arch your back. Open. Arch your back. Awesome. Gather. Full turn at the hip. Full turn at the hip. Slight stretch in the lower back. Nice and easy. We're doing soft, dynamic movement. It's waking up that area. Try to start your day off with full range of motion throughout your entire body, or as much of it as you can. Deep breathing. Gather. Harness. Embrace. Share. Hey, thanks for hopping in. I gather all the goodness around me. I harness it. I embrace it. I share my gifts and talents with creation for the betterment of creation. Last one. I gather all the goodness around me. I harness it. I embrace it. I share my gifts and talents with creation for the betterment of creation. So, thank you. Thank you for joining in. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be well. We're just continuing building our habits. And hey, Aesthetic, thanks for hopping in. Imani, that's my son's name, Amani. Similar but different. Thank you for hopping in. Yeah, we're building habits little by little. We are exploring the concept of being a spiritual athlete. And we're exploring doing the mundane over and over again. Just keeping it simple. allowing ourselves to build some momentum and have a break that throughout the video, and enjoy it, and I hope you're able to hop in and do some of the qigong sometime if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing more of you all again. All right. Hope this was helpful. And remember, consistency is a superpower, especially when you're moving in the right direction. And may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be well. Here's that sunrise. It was much lower. Now it's getting up there. Where's that moon? There we go. That's good balance of energy with us for today.